exercise we got you to do before you came in of what we're going to be talking about today, which is to do with the internet and some of its impacts. That's broadly what we'll be talking about. The room that you're in, very standard room. There are microphones on the ceiling. It is being recorded. That's not for anything untoward. You're not going to end up on the news or anything like that. It's just so that me and my colleagues have got a record of the conversation that we've had. I do have some colleagues who are watching in the room behind, and they're all very friendly, and at intervals I will go in and speak to them, but again they're just interested in what you've got to say. Ultimately it's my job to keep the conversation going, so if I bring people in and out, that's not me being rude, it's just making sure that everyone's got an opportunity to be heard and have their say. And in terms of things that we're talking about today, there will be times where you agree with each other and times that you disagree, and that's absolutely fine. There isn't a right or wrong answer for any of this. My only request, which is I'm sure I don't need to say, is that we just disagree with each other in a respectful and polite manner, which I think is an absolute given. That's everything that I needed to cover with you from my perspective. What would be great is if you could just to start tell me a little bit about yourself. You don't need to give me your surname or your age or anything that you're not comfortable with, but maybe what you do for a living, family, something good that's happened to you today, anything along those lines. That would be great. I always start on my left, sorry.
That's okay. My name's Nancy, and I live in Des Plaines, and I am a casino dealer, currently on leave. And I have two kids that one lives in California, one lives in Indiana. And other than that, I'm just a single lady.
Has anything good happened to you today? I'm sorry, what? Anything good happened to you today?
Just being able to be here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Down. Thanks, Nancy. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
My name is Tamika. I live in Homewood, South Suburbs. I have 3 children and a puppy.
Oh.
And I work for the Illinois Department of Corrections. I'm a corrections counselor. And that's about it.
So does that mean working with people who've been in trouble?
The center that I work at is in Joliet. They're mentally ill. So
do you enjoy it?
Something different every day.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Action every day.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to hear.
Quite enjoyable, I bet, in a way.
I don't want to say enjoyable.
Keep challenge, yeah.
That's the way I want to go with it. Yeah. It just keeps me, it always
keeps you
spicy.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Tamika. Hi.
Hi, I'm Chuck. Married.
So you're Chuck, not Charles?
I'm Chuck.
Yeah.
Only my mother called me Chuck. I'm a bad boy. Yeah. So yeah, I'm married. I have 6 kids.
6?
And 6.
Wow.
And a bunch of grandchildren. I'm an IT consultant. In between jobs, I just finished one. I'm going to Denmark in January for 6 months.
To work or to have fun?
To work.
Is your wife going? Your family going with you?
No, my wife's a middle school teacher.
Oh, so she can't go?
So she can't go. Maybe in the summer.
Yeah.
And she'll come around in spring break.
Oh, that would be so good, going to Denmark.
Yeah.
Exciting. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, my name's Ala. I am a pharmacist. Recently got married in July.
Nice, congratulations.
Thank you.
Still down here.
I live in like the South Loop area downtown here, and something good today was I just won that raffle.
Yeah.
Nice.
What do you get for winning that?
That's what I planned
like
to say.
$50 extra gift
nice.
card. So yeah, it was a pleasant start to the
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you can then give that to your wife.
Yeah. Straight into the stocking probably.
Amazing, thank you. Hi.
Hi, my name is Ricardo. I live over by Midway Airport. I'm a project manager for an electrical company. We actually have our corporate office on the 9th floor here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was told where the actress was. Like, wait, what is it? I know exactly where that is.
Oh, that's really good.
I'm married, have 3 kids. Something good that happened was we got a bonus check today.
Oh, amazing.
Wow.
Brilliant. Party time.
Yeah, right.
Brilliant, thank you. Hi.
Hi, my name is Stacia.
What's your name, sorry?
Stacia.
What an amazing name. Where did that come from?
It's a Greek name. It's really Sophia, but they shortened it to Stathia for, But nobody calls me that. They call me Cookie. It's my nickname. Isn't it horrible? Oh, God help me. But it's true. My brother was kind of disappointed that I was a girl.
Oh, okay.
And my mother wanted to name me after her mother, and he wanted to give me a really nice American name like Christine.
Yeah.
It didn't work. Okay, because my maiden name is Mitchell.
Okay.
So it flows easier, right?
Yeah.
I'm a high school physics teacher. I have 3 children, I think I said that. And anything good happened today, I found a parking spot on the street and I didn't have to pay for parking.
Amazing. That's
Okay?
good. Yeah.
Because
Brilliant.
parking down here is...
It's a nightmare.
It's not, it's very expensive.
Okay.
Okay, it's not a nightmare. I mean, you
Just
can...
pricey.
Very pricey.
Thank you. Hi.
Hello. So my name is Neil. I live in Carroll Stream. So it was a little hype getting out here. So the good thing that happened today is my wife and I didn't get in an argument on the way here. It's always good up until the last mile and the GPS shuts off because you're around all the tall buildings. So yeah, that was a good thing that happened today. But I work for Chamberlain. This is my second career. Started 2 years ago, and what's interesting about that is I've been doing a lot of traveling with this company.
Yeah.
Been to Germany this year, spent a week in Munich, and
Nice.
earlier this year I was in Vietnam and Shenzhen.
Wow.
So these pretty cool places.
Yeah.
And if you think traffic's bad here, you should
Go to-
go to Vietnam.
Yeah. Totally. Thank you, Neil. Last but not least.
Hi, my name is Sandy. Married, have 3 children, grown and all married, and live in Park Ridge. I work for a laboratory company. I'm a collection tech. Have a little doggy. That's about it.
What's your dog called?
Ella.
So there's 2 of us from Park Ridge.
You're from Park Ridge? Where at?
Prospect.
Prospect and what?
You know where the St. Mary's is? This is the side.
I'm sorry. I'm at 400 Night, South Night.
300 Prospect.
My sister lives at 425. Judy Mupp.
Oh, whoa.
Did you know her, Judy Mupp?
No.
Okay. You ever
It's a small old world. So really, just quite briefly to start with, I want to get your perspective on how you feel about technology and the internet generally. What are the things that you find exciting and what are the things that you might find concerning about it?
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It can be helpful.
Yeah.
It can be a problem solver sometimes. It can be a time saver.
Yeah.
But then it can become time consuming.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets difficult
Yeah.
for myself trying to detach away.
Yeah.
And for my children and trying to worry about their security and, what they're able to see and have access to.
Have access to.
So it has
So-
good and pros and cons.
Yeah. Anyone else? Any other thoughts?
I
read books. Oh, sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I think it's very good. It's helpful if you're teaching in high school.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because you eliminate all these books that, everything is done over the internet now for students and all that.
Yeah.
I find it very good, but I also find it not so good for young people.
From what aspect?
Because they send things that they should not be sending.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to educate them, tell them don't do it because it will remain in the cloud. And if you're downloading, if you're going to go to the university or something, you're bound to download it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so try not to do it. But and the other thing that I don't like when they have their phones in class.
Yeah, disruptive.
It is because they can text and do a lot of things. They have it in their hoodies.
Yeah. Anyone else? Any thoughts?
My wife's a teacher. She's a middle school music teacher, and she says that I've been using the internet since early 70s in college when it was ARPANET. So it's something I've been involved in for a long, long time. And I've watched it evolve, and one of the problems that, it's been great, was great for a long time.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of great stuff, but then with 6 kids and now grandkids, my daughter was in this choir with a bunch of girls, and a couple of years ago we went off in this place, and there's 16 girls sitting around a table.
Yeah.
They're sitting next to each other.
And they're texting one another too.
They're not talking. And so So social media is a much bigger problem than people understand at this point. I'm just
think
It's true.
I was going to say, I think tech is great. I work as like a telepharmacist, so like we work in an office and remote into hospitals around the country. And I think the internet part is great, but I think social media is
less
a bigger issue. And
I mean, just segueing off that question, thinking about some of the tech companies, Facebook, Google, Apple, to what extent do you trust them to be responsible, do you think? Do you trust them to be responsible?
In what way?
What's
No.
the criteria you would
They
use?
can control what people post,
Yeah.
but they can be responsible for taking things down that are, and I think they do a fairly good job of that, taking things down that are inappropriate.
Okay.
But they can't control
how people
post.
No.
Yeah. Chuck, were you going to say something?
Oh, see, so the three you mentioned, Facebook, I deleted my Facebook account last year.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not happy. I never used it a lot, but other members of my family do. They're doing things that they're looking at you. They're watching you in ways that I don't think you want to be watched.
No.
And they're providing that information to people. Google's evil company. This is my opinion.
Yep. Google's an evil company.
Apple tries. Apple refuses to let, they're saying, to allow backdoors into the iPhones and iPads and everything. So they're trying to keep things secure. They're trying, but this is the big problem. These companies, some of them need to be broken up because they have too much power.
And that's your perspective on Google, that they're too big?
Google's way too influential, and it's like I use the search.
Yeah.
No, everybody uses it.
I've tried others.
You seem to remember what you searched on, right? Just like if you're having a conversation with somebody and your phone's in your pocket, and the next day it's like, gee, why am I seeing all these news feeds of funeral plots? Because that's what I was talking about the day before.
It's true.
Or adult diapers when I bought my father-in-law some, and suddenly I'm getting adult diapers.
If you look something up on Google, on Facebook, I'm getting like advertisement for them. I'm going,
Yeah.
Things you really don't want. But Facebook is really, after this last election and all the hacking that was going on, and how the Mark Zuckerberg were in front of Congress and you didn't even know how he was saying things, and these guys didn't know what he was talking about. They were like lost. You could see in their faces they were lost. And it's like a bunch of kids were, playing around, and I just don't. I use it, I have it, but I'm not happy.
Just want to move on slightly. Obviously, like I said, we've got quite a lot to get through actually. At the beginning, when you came in, you filled in the handout for me. It was a series of issues. What did you think? Are you okay? You're looking for
my gender.
Have you left it in the other room? Or did you move it? Okay, I did, okay. We're looking at those issues. Which do you think is most important? Which issues that were most important to you, do you think, on the handout?
Well, I think
Children.
Privacy.
and security.
And security.
Cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying is important.
That's the one for me.
reliable news.
Reliable news.
Actually, all the things that you put here are important.
Yeah. And was there anything on that list that you thought, well, does it make sense that would be there, or
Tech. No.
what were you going to say?
No, it's tech fiction, but.
I thought the unbiased information was, I wasn't sure why that one was there compared to cyberbullying and harmful content. When I think of information, I think of just news, kind of reliable news. I thought those two kind of stood out from the rest as far as being harmful or helpful.
But unbiased information you didn't think necessarily
Would go along with the same...
I kind of wrote in the same, like, with reliable news and unbiased information, I kind of wrote similarly in both of them, because in my mind I kind of saw them as similar. But I think the one thing in unbiased information I kind of like clicked in my mind of, just like right away, it was like Facebook saying, you know, your algorithm of it just being set to news that you kind of like, and so you're almost like in a bubble, and it's just using those kind of algorithms to always keep you with just whatever you are comfortable with.
And I actually think that's a good thing, like you were saying, that you took off your Facebook, and I don't really use it to...
Keep hold of it, just keep, no, don't hand them out, just leave them there.
I don't use it to post where I am or what I'm doing. I use it more for news, because it sees what I've looked at in the past, and it kind of... It's my friend. He knows what I like, and he shows me what I'm interested in.
What, good?
On Facebook.
Yeah. I just want to explain this exercise to you about what I want you to do. And we'll talk a little bit more about unbiased content and the other elements in a moment. So you will see that the handout I gave you at the beginning, there are potential ways that they could be grouped. Like people started talking about it. Like Arlott was saying that he was like, well, I felt like we're related and so on. So here are 5 different ways that these could be grouped. So it's 1 between 2. So if I were you, I'd spread them out between you and the person sat next to you. And I would like you both to read it and select which grouping makes the most sense to you. So each piece of paper represents a different grouping. Which one you think makes the most sense? Yeah, which you like the most. You don't have to agree with each other, but just mark on the paper that you like, the grouping you think is best, just mark on. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm.
It's just to mark which one you think is most...
The one that makes most sense to you. The grouping that makes the most sense.
Right, correct.
Which you don't have to agree. You can have different views.
You think this is a good group? You think this is...
No, not do you think. It's that each one represents a different thing. So these 2 will always belong together. So the point is, of that list, would you categorise them as 2 pillars, like 2 buckets? Privacy, security, digital child safety, in a different sort of category, harmful content, unbiased information? Or do you think it's better to have 3 categories? To have category with privacy and security, one with digital child safety, one with reliable news. So you will choose 1 sheet of paper, whichever sheet of paper
Of the 2 of us?
No, separately. Thanks. Whichever grouping you think is the best. No, just keep on doing something to talk about them. Has everyone made a selection?
Yes.
Yes.
And you don't, like I said, you don't have to agree, but you can have separate views.
Oddly enough,
We'll go round. So what I'll do is put your hands up just so I know how to direct the conversation. But you can pick the same one.
Oh, we could? Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So, who picked number 1? Did anyone pick number 1? The first grouping.
I do.
1 person. Anyone pick number 2? No. Anyone pick number 3? 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Anyone pick number 4? 2 people. And then number 5? 1 person. So let's look at the third one first of all. Why did half of you choose the third one?
Well, from my perspective, I just looked at it from the techie point of view. Privacy and security are something that, to me, that's your infrastructure. You set things up that way.
Yep.
People, third parties set that up for your security. This, the second grouping is basically, things that the top 2 items are definitely things that you're trying to prevent people either from getting to you or people doing inappropriate things that all fit in that similar group. Now the third one was all kind of like, something that goes through a broad spectrum. You're just one of many people that reaches out to all at once. Where the one in the middle is more, for me, one-on-one.
Okay. Anyone else? Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, for me, I kind of similar thought process, especially with like the privacy security, and then that second box is mainly just with like children, adolescents, and trying to protect that. And then the third one kind of just like, what we've just constantly in the news of just trying to find reliable sources, reliable news, and that unbiasedness. So that's how I kind of pictured all 3, or the 3 separate boxes.
Just before we talk about the others, Were there, I asked you this question earlier, when you looked at those, were there any of those topics that you thought you wouldn't include, or that you felt didn't belong, or anything like that? Because I know, like, Ricardo talks about unbiased information not necessarily being on there.
Tech addiction, maybe, for myself.
How come?
I don't feel like that's... I feel like every other one of these things is very important to many, many people, but tech addiction I just feel is more lonesome and not applying to so many.
Okay. I mean, do you think that these categories make sense for a company like Google to talk about? Do you think these are topics that Google ought to be addressing?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Should they be talking about so all of those things, whether it's privacy and security, or some of the things relating to kids, or things relating to information? They have a role in all of those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Just briefly, why did people select number 4? Well, a couple of people selected
The only
number
one
4.
who did, or no, you and I did.
Yeah.
Go ahead, you jump first.
Well, I felt as if the privacy, security, and the digital child safety, those are all safety features.
Yeah.
And then the cyberbullying and tech addiction, I felt like those two could go one and the same, because tech addiction could go one way or it could be abused.
Yeah.
You know, so I kind of felt that went with the cyberbullying, and then I just thought that the last column pretty much is all news relatable.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much about it.
Anything to add?
Yeah, well, I mean, the first section, I put the digital child safety in the same place as privacy and security, because that's really something these companies need to look at. You know, the cyberbullying and tech addiction, if I'm a tech addict, I'm a tech addict. There's not much a company can do about it. If I'm cyberbullying somebody or somebody's doing it to me, they're using this, you know, the string to do this with. But privacy and security are something these guys
should be doing.
They're supposed to be taking care of this, you know, to make it secure. And the digital child safety is preventing kids from getting to places that they shouldn't be going.
Exactly.
On the tech addiction one, how would you feel if it was actually called digital well-being instead, as a term? If it was replaced with the term digital well-being
Instead of child?
instead of tech addiction?
It's a totally different meaning.
Do you?
That's another thing, yeah.
Why what does digital well-being say to you?
Very knowledgeable, you're doing it. It's a good thing you're doing, it sounds like.
It almost sounds like an overall health
Yeah.
type of thing, just while being able to use technology
Right.
as, you know, whatever it can be used in for health reasons, whereas tech addiction kind of, for me, is just
You have an addiction to
your
your phone.
addiction. Yeah.
I mean, I suppose the one rationale for digital well-being could be that it's broader, that it's more about learning positive habits, you know, whether to manage so you don't become addicted and things like that. So, you know, just to give you a counter view, that it could be that actually it's just a broader term, it's a more positive term. But thoughts on that? It just doesn't work for you in the same way? You'd rather see tech addiction?
No, I see it totally
Tech
different.
addiction is very specific. It's somebody's
Yeah.
having a problem, whereas this wellness is, oh, well, you know, you're doing well type thing. And one's a focus and one's just as general
One's
as...
an addiction.
Yeah.
Addiction is addiction.
So building on that, I want to show you something else. So this could be something specifically from Google, like a public service announcement, or I'll explain what to do with it in 1 minute. Yeah, put those together, or a customer outreach campaign or something along those lines. So again, one between two. And here you'll see there are 3 different ways in which they could talk about these issues. And what I'd like you to do is have a look at them and make a decision. Again, you don't have to agree with the person you're sharing with. Which one you think, which one you prefer. So just have a read. And which route you prefer for Google to take. And then just put a mark on it. Again, you don't need to agree or anything like that, or discuss it. We'll talk about it together. Everyone made a choice? Again, you don't need to agree on it. You can choose different.
Oh, no. Is it bad that we both like the same thing?
No, it's fine.
Is it okay?
Yeah, just so you didn't feel compelled to be like, oh no, we like the same one. Everyone made a decision? Okay, just quickly again to help me with the conversation, you can just go around and tell me which one you picked. Anyone pick one? One person. Anyone pick two? 5 people. Anyone pick 3? One person. Should have just done it. 2 people. Sorry, I should have done the math there. The math. So number 2. Which was security, privacy, family safety and content integrity. Why was that your preferred approach?
I feel like it covered your security, privacy, your family safety, and the content that children would be able to see.
And why is that better than having digital well-being on there? Or, what's the one question? Why is that better than having digital well-being? Why is that a better grouping?
Digital well-being control, I don't. What does that mean?
What does it mean?
Yeah.
Stacey, what did you say?
I think it's ambiguous.
Well, it's device usage, okay? So it's like our phones and iPads and everything. For me, I went with 2 because I think for this control over online content, it's sort of a vague thing, but I'm thinking I put a lot of stuff on the cloud, okay? And I really don't want people having access. I mean, if my tax returns go on my Mac and it's on the iCloud, I want people getting access to my online content, and I'd like that protected by Apple or Google, or...
What else are people imagining would go under this? And I know it's just like from your perspective, what else do you think would be included in this content integrity? What do you think control over online content, what do you think that could encompass?
Everything you store.
Right.
Everything you store.
But what about, but not just information you store, thinking about the things we talked about before, reliable...
It's about the things that you're allowed to view, the things that you want to go on. I read into that as control as well. So just like the one that talked about the digital well-being, this is, if I'm on my phone 8 hours a day, if I'm on it for good reasons, then I'm on it for good reasons. I don't want somebody trying to make a decision to limit that.
Right? So you think that's your responsibility?
I choose 2. That's why I chose 3.
You chose 3.
Yeah, I felt as if they were saying they're going to control what the availability of the contact that I'm able to view, or what I'm able to, access.
That was going to be one of my questions, which goes to what you said at the beginning. So, if content integrity is about things like, reliable news, unbiased information, harmful content, do you think that Google should be talking about this issue about content integrity, about the content that's on their platform, or do you think that they should not? They don't have a role in directing that content or managing the content that you see online, or helping you manage the content you see online?
I don't think they should control that, but I think they should have a control that you could put on for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Options. Yeah, options, not them to do it.
Yeah, but they shouldn't be the arbiters.
No.
But what kind of control?
Settings. Optional settings.
What kind of control do you want over the content that you see?
Like how Facebook has the option to take off advertisers that have my email, and then can continually send me all this stuff that I don't even know. How do they have my email? I don't want them.
So do you think then that Google needs to give you controls that would enable you to get reliable news, unbiased information, and prevent you from seeing harmful content? Do they have a role to do in delivering that?
I guess the first question is going to be, if you're asking if they should, the first question is how are they going to do it?
Yeah, okay.
It's just yet another person with an opinion.
Yeah, I get that.
It just kind of brings me back to, there was a movie not too long ago called The Circle.
Oh, yeah.
And it was kind of a, Facebook-ish, Google-ish kind of company, right? And
Yeah, but I've not seen the film. I've read the book.
But the point is sooner or later it's about somebody making the decision for you as opposed to you choosing yourself. Now, if you get if the company provides you with filters, like she was saying, that's to me the best option is to give you the capability to filter out what you want.
Anyone else? Any thoughts on that?
Kind of along those same lines, I kind of envision it, and especially in terms of like news, like when you first start up whatever this type of program or whatever it would be like, you almost just choose like, oh, these are the news sites that I typically go to, this is the information that I typically like to see. And it's okay to get biased information or different things, but also having that say at the beginning of these are the types of things. And kind of in like Facebook, when